Let us continue reading this book by Uriah Smith, Thoughts on Daniel and Revelation, 1897. And before I share with you today's message, I would like to invite you for a word of prayer. Let us indeed seek the Lord in prayer. Our Father in heaven, we honor you and glorify your holy name. Give us understanding, give us joy, knowing the truth only through your Son. In his name I pray. Amen. We are now reading Daniel 8, verses 13 to 14. This is the part 2 of the comments by Uriah Smith. The daily sacrifice. Uriah Smith wrote, "We have proof in verse 13 that sacrifice is the wrong word to be supplied in connection with the word daily. If the daily sacrifice of the Jewish services here meant, or in other words, the taking away of that sacrifice, as some suppose, which sacrifice was at a certain point of time taken away, there would be no propriety in the question, how long? The vision concerning. This question evidently implies that those agents or events to which the vision relates occupy a long series of years. Continuance of time is the central idea, and the whole time of the vision is filled by what is here called the daily in the transgression of desolation. Hence, the daily cannot be the daily sacrifice of the Jews, the taking away of which, when the time came for it, occupied incomparatively but an instant of time. It must denote something which occupies a series of years. The word here, rendered daily, occurs in the Old Testament, according to the Hebrew Concordance, 102 times, and is, in the great majority of instances, rendered continually or continual. The idea of sacrifice does not attach to the word at all, nor is there any word in the text which signifies sacrifice. That is wholly a supplied word. The translators putting in that word which their understanding of the text seemed to demand, but they evidently entertained an erroneous view. The sacrifices of the Jews not being referred to at all. It appears, therefore, more in accordance with both the construction and the context to suppose that the word daily refers to a desolating power, like the transgression of desolation, with which it is connected. Then we have two desolating powers, which for a long period oppress or desolate the church. The Hebrew justifies this construction, the last word, desolation, having a common relation to the two preceding nouns, the perpetual and the transgression, which are connected by the conjunction and. Literally, it may re-render, how long the vision concerning the continuance and the transgression of the desolation. The word desolation being related to both continuance and transgression as though it were expressed in full. Thus, the continuance of desolation and the transgression of desolation. By the continuance of desolation or the perpetual desolation, we must understand that paganism, through all its long history, is meant, and by the transgression of desolation is meant the papacy. The phrase describing this latter power is stronger than that used to describe paganism. It is the transgression or rebellion, as the word also means, of desolation. As though under this period of the history of the church, the desolating power had rebelled against all restraint previously imposed upon it. From a religious point of view, the world has presented only these two phases of opposition against the Lord's work in the earth. Hence, although three earthly governments are introduced in the prophecies of oppressors of the church, they are here arranged under two heads, the daily and the transgression and desolation. Medo-Persia was pagan, Grecia was pagan, Rome in its first phase was pagan. This all were embraced in the daily. Then comes the papal form, the transgression and desolation. A marvel of craft and cunning, an inspiration of fiendish bloodthirstiness and cruelty. No wonder the cry has gone up from suffering martyrs from age to age. How long, O Lord? How long? And no wonder the Lord, in order that hope might not fully die out of the hearts of his downtrodden, waiting people, has lifted before them the veil of futurity, showing them the consecutive events of the world's history, till all these persecuting powers shall meet an utter and everlasting destruction, and give them glimpses beyond of the unfading glories of their eternal inheritance. We will read the next comments the next time in our series. May God our Father to bless you and His only begotten divine Son, Jesus Christ, be gracious to you now and forevermore. Amen.